What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Schilling Beer Company, and they are out of Littleton, New Hampshire, and this is their Modernism. So they're calling this one a Czech-style Dark Lager that comes in at 4.8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. This can is approximately 2 months old, so we have another beer here from Schilling. This is the third beer from them that I have reviewed on the channel since last year, and I really like what they do. They do old world styles extremely well, and recently, I'd say over the last year or so, I've really come to love Czech-style Dark Lagers. They're one of my favorite low ABV lager at this point, along with German Helles. So when I saw this, I was like, sign me up. It's Schilling, it's Czech-style Dark Lager. We're gonna get into it. So yeah, anyway, relatively fresh too. Some of the Schilling stuff, is a little bit older that I've picked up, but we get pretty fresh drops from them here in the Buffalo, New York area. So this one is relatively fresh, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm loving some Czech-style Dark Lagers, honestly. We'll do something like that, a little aggressiveness. Did I F it up? Perfection. Did not F it up. Anyway, throw this over here, and yeah. So this is, on camera, it's probably gonna look pitch black or like a deep dark brown, but this has like a ruby red, beautiful color to it, almost like Dr. Pepper. Kind of looks like a Dr. Pepper because it's like a deep, ruby red color. Pull it up to the light. It just looks beautiful. A lot of carbonation, about a 2-finger of a straight up tan colored head. Soap sudsy in the look of the head, but yeah, that looks beautiful. Does it look like a Czech-style Dark Lager? You betcha. Let's get a nose. Yeah. So one thing I've loved about Czech-style Dark Lager specifically is that I do get, a big maltiness, but it's usually balanced out with a good kind of hot bite, and they're just so easy to drink, but it's a sessionable darker beer, and along with German Schwarz beers, two of my favorite when it comes to like sub 5% darker beers, and especially lagers. But yeah, the nose of this, there's toffee, there's caramel, there's big bready, almost slightly toasted like brown bread, maybe even a touch of molasses, chocolate, but more of like a powdery, like cocoa powder, like a baker's chocolate. Not sweet. There's a slightly spicy floral kind of hop tone to it. Has a very, I'd say, I was gonna say either small or slight or a touch. It all works. There's a little bit of a sulfur note from the lager-esque kind of nature of the beer. It's a lager, so sometimes you get that. At least I do. Not all the time though. Yeah, it just smells awesome. And the beauty about this is 4.8%. So not only are you going to get a flavorful beer that kind of just I enjoy, on top of that, it's a sub 5% beer, and I can have a couple of these even nowadays. So anyway, I want to get into it. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, it's delicious. It's delicious. I'm enjoying the style because it has a deep, like real in-depth flavor profile to it, but it's not like it's like you took like some kind of like a very sessionable kind of like brown ale into a porter, into a stout, those types of flavors, but you put it in a very drinkable, crisp lager. It's just fucking delicious. Body's like lower side of medium, right around a medium, 4.8%. It's appropriate. Even a little bigger than you'll expect for something that's sub 5%. The mouthfeel, it's crisp. It's pretty clean. It's very refreshing. It's very smooth going down as well. The flavors, actually on the palate, getting more chocolate and caramel than anything else. Maybe a little bit of like a toasted brown bread, like I said in the aroma. But yeah, the chocolate is, again, like a semi-sweet kind of chocolate vibe. The caramel, maybe a little bit of like a sweeter vibe from that. And that all hits me at the front of the palate. As it passes through, I get like a touch of molasses. There's no sulfur kind of indication on the palate, just it was in the nose. But what I love about this beer and where it bumps up the drinkability and makes me want to come back for more is there is an almost moderate bitterness. This is like mild to moderately bitter, but more closer to moderately. It has a really nice spicy floral kind of bitterness. Quite dry as well, like semi to full on dry. So all that sweet malty goodness is kept in check by the bitterness and the dryness. And it's not overly bitter or anything, but it balances it out almost to perfection. It's just, here's the thing, and I always have to say this in lager reviews, because even though I'm starting to really like beers like this, and like I said, German Helles and whatnot, They'll still never be my favorite style. Um, you know, I leave those to the English barley wines of the world and things of that nature. But where I am right now compared to a couple years ago, I have a big appreciation for beers like this and styles like this. And I get why a lot of people enjoy them and why breweries like Schilling brew them. Look at the lacing, fantastic as well. So yeah, I really dig this one. 4.8%, you can't even tell. This is like a sessionable, you know, again, darker beer that it brings the flavor, but you don't have to. There's a lot of beers I drink on the channel where to bring the flavor, I gotta cut the drinkability. How many times have you heard me in a review say, man, I love that beer, but I want 4 ounces of it, or I want 8 ounces of it. I don't want an entire 16-ounce can. This is the exact opposite. The flavors are fantastic, but I want more of this. I would like a couple cans of this, and it's just really good overall. So one more sip, and then we'll rate it. Yeah, it's quite good. So Modernism from Schilling. I'm going to give this a high 4.25 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.35 out of 5. Almost gets into that 4.5 range, low 4.5 range. What's stopping it? Well, if we're going to nitpick, obviously, like I said, with stylistically, I don't go crazy high with these because, again, not my favorite style. But I would say stylistically, this is like a 4.7, 4.8, somewhere in that range. Like the one thing I think I'd like a little bit more from this beer is the complexity of the malt in the nose was a little bit more vibrant. I'd like to see that on the palate. And I do think now as I took a couple sips, maybe the bitterness is a little bit lingering more than I would like. It's not going to be like too much, but as it lingers on your palate, there's like this nice dry kind of, I would say more of like a floral resinous hop tone. And I would like to see that cut a little bit. And I think this would easily be a 4 or 5, but we're nitpicking and you got to do that when you review beer because that's just how it goes. So Modernism, really delicious beer, 4.35 out of 5 from Schilling. Probably my favorite beer from Schilling to date. Price point availability at the brewery, these were $14 a 4-pack here in the Buffalo, New York area because they make distro. These are $16 a 4-pack. I paid $3.99 for that can. A bit steep considering the beer itself, but there's been a lot of Czech-style Dark Lagers and just like German Helleses from local breweries that are 12 to 14 bucks. So for something that I know is going to be quality because it's Schilling, I don't mind paying an extra 50 cents a can or whatever it ends up being because this is really good stuff. And availability, yeah, I mean the deposit on the side of the can, I think I said this in the last review, but it says Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, New York, and Connecticut. So at least, oh, so hang on, Michigan, 10 cents, 5 for the others. So that's at least 6 different states that it gets distro here in the States. I don't know if they sell their stuff online. I can't remember. But if you're in the Northeast and maybe a little bit in the Midwest, you should be able to get your hands on Schilling, and I highly recommend them. They do, again, old world styles where you'll be like, wow, I didn't even know that style existed. They do some real cool stuff. I gotta try out some different weird beers from them, and by weird I mean just styles that we just never see here in the U.S. because they do them and they do them quite well. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Like I said, really good beer. I'd love to hear your feedback if you've had this one. If you have had other stuff from Schilling and not this one, let me know what your favorite beer from them is. I've reviewed their Alexander, their Constantine, which was in Austria style Oktoberfest beer, Meriton, and then this one. And I'm going to pick up more. I actually have one more in the fridge, an Italian style Pilsner, and I can't speak today. I kind of just stop like in the middle of saying something in this review. Just I don't know what's going on. But anyway, appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.